Test, test.
Wow, I smell unspeakable. This is the Garcia family. This is the doctor who knows asthma is no match for ALA. The nurse practitioner who knows about Parkinson's skateboarding. And the specialist who knows Maya's genetic cancer medicine and how to intervene earlier than ever. Our experts know your family, prepare you for your future, and treat you like the most important patient you've ever had. Because
Not sponsored.
your best health is our Endeavor Health. Everyone should feel like the director of the
Yes, it is.
when I wear True, I'm not just enhancing my skin, I'm boosting my confidence. This is
Helpful.
my shade of determination. True Match by L'Oreal found 99% of women found their true match. I work with
Still not sponsored. Dumb. So dumb.
Whoa! Yellow. TENIME here. With me as always is my lovely host, Kat.
Hello.
And today we are doing Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And I need to be careful not to just quote the movie because it may end up crossing over with questions and answers. So
Actually, I've already done it a couple times, so there's that. Before even starting.
I mean, I figured, but you know, I definitely can't do it while filming. As you already saw, YouTube throws their ads into a 4-hour royalty-free music thing. I'm not getting paid, but they're still sneaking their advertisements in. So thanks, guys. Subscribe to my Patreon so I can afford YouTube Premium. So as much as I love this movie, I do have another shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's the weird movie poster where no one looks like any of the characters from the movie, but it is an official poster. Like I think it was like the DVD for the longest time.
Yeah.
But obviously these are better shirts. So
yeah. The one I wanted to wear I couldn't find, which is my adorable monstrosity shirt. It's the rabbit gnawing on a little skull from Tea Turtle. I have matching socks, and I couldn't find those either. Maybe May, but they're long socks, and it's god awful hot here in the Chicagoland area today, and I'm not doing that.
I should have a holy hand grenade prop. I should have a plush bunny covered in blood. I should have a coconut instead of bowls. You know, the fridge magnet was the only thing that I had other than shirts.
And if I thought about it, I would have brought my pops with, but they've been binned up and put in storage. So
why do I even have you here? I'm
useless. I'm just absolutely useless.
Completely
useless.
Completely.
I'm gonna leave.
Wait, who's gonna ask the questions? Who's gonna write the questions?
Who's gonna write the questions? All right, so I am proud of myself. I got like 60 some odd questions out of a 90-minute film.
Nice.
So
very nice.
I am quite proud of myself.
I'm dreading your pause moments because there are a few that I knew of going in, and then when I rewatched the movie, I'm like, this is gonna screw me.
Yeah, I think I have at least 3, maybe 4 possible blinking and miss it.
This is a PG movie, but
some of the answers might have potty mouth words.
Back in the 70s, PG, you could even drop one F-bomb. There is not an F-bomb in this movie, but there's still a lot of other filthy words. So yes. Parental discretion advised. If you've shown your children the movie, then the trivia is going to be fine for them. Yeah. If you have not shown your children the movie, maybe usher them out of the room until this is over. So
yeah, just because of who my dad is as a person, I've been watching this movie since I was like 7 or 8 years old. So it is
terrible parenting.
It is one of my favorite movies. It is in my top 5. My top 5 never change. So 6 and 10, yeah. But my Monty Python parent, my mother, she didn't introduce me to Python until I probably hit teen years. So maybe 12, but I'm thinking 13 at the youngest. But I do of the few memories that are still left in my rapidly deteriorating brain. I remember having the flu one weekend, and she stayed up with me, and we watched Flying Circus on some cable channel at like 2 a.m. So, and kids at church constantly quoted Holy Grail. So, I mean, like kids, you know, I mean, maybe not young, but like, you know, pre-teen to teen kids were constantly quoting Holy Grail. So those memories are near and dear to me that will probably leave me quite soon, but okay. All right. So you have given me instruction to jump around.
Please.
With these, because if we go in order, it might be a little too Easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
So I have my trusty little pen. I'm going to mark these bad boys off as we go through because I don't want to accidentally ask the same question twice.
Which, as I always say, if it's too easy, no one has fun. If it's too hard, no one has fun. Scream. Go watch our Scream trivia. We are going to do another one when Scream 7 comes out, and hopefully it will let me redeem myself in being a Scream fan, as opposed to the poser I appeared to be when I didn't know things like Stu's address or phone number or
It's just the address.
so someone's phone number was in there.
Corey Gillis is from Scream 2.
Yeah, see, that's no. Please play along.
Yes.
I cannot see the comments. So
You also cannot see the questions.
right.
So
My peripheral vision, like I have very good vision. My peripheral vision is not good. So even if I'm looking at her, even if the paper's like this, I can't see that. I would have to hold it in front of me. So don't be worried that, oh, he's looking at the questions. I'm not, I can't see it. Like, so that's the back of the paper. So unless I was doing this, I'm not looking at the questions.
Yeah. And I keep them at an angle anyway.
Please play along. Despite not being able to see the chat now, I would advise against putting answers in the chat, just for people who want to watch this later when it's not live. But please let us know how many you got right, how many you got wrong. I still feel like I need like a third person. Like they don't have to be here, but like someone, maybe I'll talk to Threeps, but
I'd love to have him sit in on one of these.
A, I did try to get him into Star Wars. It just didn't work with his schedule. But B, I feel like I need a third person watching remotely, keeping score, but then I would need some way to be able to correspond with that person at the end, so I could be like, oh, TENIME got this many right and this many wrong. But my phone is filming and I got my iPad.
I can also keep score.
Or that. But I figured that, like, just to make it easy on you so you don't have to concentrate on 80 things at once, so. I
have 4 children. I can multitask quite well.
Great. I've kept people waiting long enough. Let's get started.
All right. I was amazed at the number of animal gags that's in this movie. It's a little ridiculous because, like, by the time there's like 10 minutes and there's been like 4. Anyhow, okay. Let's see here. What question do I want to start with?
Oh, I could have had a plush cat that I slam against the wall.
I have like 4. You know what? If you had said something, I could have brought one. I have like 4 in my house.
I'm not anti-cat. If you've seen the movie, you get that.
Yes. There's a cat that gets stepped on too.
Really?
Yes. During the Knights of the Round Table song.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okie dokie. Okay. Let's start with the fun one.
All right.
What is the order of the Black Knight's dismemberment?
Obviously, that's not going to help me, but right arm. You can tell me if the first one's wrong or not?
No.
Hang on.
Oh, gravy. And the fact that it's like 40, we can't skip for like another 45 seconds is.
Hang on. Okay. So there we go.
There we go. Okay.
I'm
not going to,
well, tell me if my first answer is wrong.
It is.
Okay. So left arm, right arm, left leg, right leg.
You got the first 2, right?
Okay.
It's left arm, right leg, left leg.
Gotcha.
Alrighty.
I want to quote so bad.
I know you do. I do too. It's ridiculous.
And like normally with like franchise trivia, can you hit the button, please? Yeah. With franchise trivia, I could safely quote. Well, I mean, maybe not. But like, it's more dangerous when we're just focusing on one movie. So
there we go.
Okay.
All right. Who is the first knight to join Arthur?
Bedivere. So Patsy's with him since the beginning. So we meet them at the same time.
Yes.
This is my trusty servant Patsy.
Terry Gilliam, the film's director, co-director.
Well, there goes that question.
Well, sorry.
Arthur's companion is named what?
Patsy.
Patsy. All right.
What, ridden on a horse?
All right, you did this one earlier. What are the Frenchman's insults towards Arthur's parents?
Okay, parents. Because I was like, what are the Frenchman's insults? There's so many and so many I don't know.
Towards his parents.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. I'm French! Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king?
Let's see here. Where do I want to next?
I really hope that you don't have a question about how he pronounces the word knights.
I don't.
Okay, because
I purposely did not do that.
Because you need to listen very carefully to make sure that he's not saying the N-word. And he's not.
He's not.
He's mispronouncing Knight. And he says knigget. But he draws it out so long that it's very questionable. It's just like, did he just say I thought he said?
All right, let's see here. What is Lancelot's companion / horse's name?
Concord.
Concord.
You shall not have been mortally wounded in vain.
Actually, I think I might pull through, Seth.
Wouldn't work with my particular
Idiom.
idiom. Thank you. Oh, shoot. And I am wondering if this is an answer to one of the questions.
What, this?
Yes.
No.
Oh, really?
It is not.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
What's the Bible verse? It's Armaments chapter 2, verses 9 through 21. And Saint Attila raised the hand grenade up on high, saying, O Lord, bless this thy hand grenade, that with it thou mayest blow thine enemies into tiny bits, in thy mercy. Sorry.
Speaking of, who carries the holy hand grenade of Antioch?
Brother Maynard. 'Tis one of the sacred relics Brother Maynard carries. Brother Maynard.
Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna go through these because they're actually kind of like in succession.
Okay.
All right. The Bridge of Death goes over what?
The Gorge of Eternal Peril.
Mm-hmm. And Arthur suggests that Robin goes first. Who does Robin suggest?
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy.
And then obviously Lancelot gets over.
Okay.
Okay. Who goes after Lancelot?
Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what question trips up Robin?
What is the capital of Assyria?
Which I did look this
I
up.
don't know that. Also Terry Gilliam, not Robin. Robin is Eric Idle. Terry
Yes.
Gilliam's Terry Gilliam is probably the least famous in terms of on-screen Python roles. So that's why I keep pointing him out
Mm-hmm.
and not everyone else, because everyone else is just as important. Rest in peace, Graham Chapman. We miss you dearly. But like Terry Gilliam plays the least amount of on-screen roles in all Python projects. So that's why I like pointing him out, because he has a very recognizable name, but not a lot of people know what he looks like. So and he's also the artist for all of the animations.
Mm-hmm.
And in the live action, this may answer a question, but in the live action segment, when the animator suffers a fatal heart attack and dies, he's the animator on screen. So he's actually the animator for the movie, and then on screen, he's the animator who quote unquote dies and has a heart attack and falls over. So
Yeah, that was one of the questions.
well, sorry.
Dagnabbit, anime. All right.
You said there were 67.
I did.
We need to make sure that this is not another 3 hours, especially since it's one movie.
Right. Okay. So,
Again, franchises are going to go longer,
yeah,
but
franchises are going to go a little longer. Okay, so I actually did look this up because I was genuinely curious about this. So at the time,
I just realized the fake Japanese says Python. Like I legit thought it was Japanese. I'm like, I should have translated this. Like,
Yeah,
I should have translated this beforehand. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't need to translate it because that says Python.
That's hysterical. So yeah, I did look this up. I did look up the capital of Assyria because I was genuinely curious.
Okay.
Because at that time, it was a city called. I don't want to mispronounce this, but I know I'm going to. It looks like it's pronounced like Ashur. So it's Ashur. So I looked it up during this particular time when this movie takes place, which is another question.
Okay.
So all right, going on within the same kind of sequential questions.
Because I don't know if this is a question, but technically we're watching a movie of a movie because of because of an event that happens during it and then how the whole movie ends. So technically the movie we're watching, the main movie we're watching takes place whenever they filmed it in the late 70s. So if you mean the movie within the movie, that's going to be a harder question for me to answer.
So after Lancelot, or I'm sorry, who goes after Rob?
Galahad.
And what question trips him up?
What is his favorite color?
And what is the answer?
Blue. No, yellow.
All right. So it becomes Arthur's turn.
Yeah.
You know, what is your name?
Yes. Arthur of Camelot. Arthur, King of the Britons.
What is your quest?
I seek the Grail.
And then what question trips up the bridge keeper?
What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? What do you mean? An African or European swallow? I don't know that.
All right. Okay. So I can save these last three because those questions actually cover the entire Bridge of Death. All right. Okay. So, get a glass of water. All right. So not what year was the movie made?
Graham Chapman was the guard who had the hiccups.
Yes. What year does the movie within the movie take place?
I'm not going to get the exact answer. And remember, the rules are I can't just sit here guessing for 12 minutes. So 732 AD.
Close.
Oh.
932 AD.
Son of a gun. Holy cow. Okay. Just take my pen and close the top of the 7 to the stem. I totally wrote 9. You just couldn't read it. It looked like a 7.
Who plays the Black Knight?
Physically, I don't know, but the voice is John Cleese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because obviously at points of dismemberment, they're using an amputee. And then a lot of the action scenes of the night that he's fighting before Arthur. No offense to you, Mr. Cleese, but although your thoughts on trans people is a little antiquated, I don't think that he's good enough to do those stunts.
No.
So it's like, obviously he's not an amputee.
Right.
And then if he's not doing the stunts, at least he could have been the one fighting Graham as Arthur. Mm-hmm. But when he's fighting the knight before him, those moves are they're too good.
They're a little too good.
But yes, as John Cleese's voice,
yes.
I don't know if it's him under the suit, under the helmet.
Do you know how much it costs to get rid of your dead?
9 pence.
Mm-hmm.
9 pence.
9 pence. I was afraid that was going to be a kind of a blinking.
Oh no!
Blinking you miss it.
It's part of the dialogue, and he says it a couple times, and it's part of the dialogue. Well, so is Corey Gillis's phone number and Stu Mocker's address. Yes, but they're not.
Like, it's not dialogue that people are paying attention to.
Right.
Like, what's your favorite scary movie, Sydney, or I'll be right back. So it's,
Mhm.
Ninepence is part, bring out your dad, punk. Ninepence, bring out your dad, punk. Ninepence.
Like, when do you come back on? Thursday. Let's see.
Oh, shoot. Who's lost 9 today?
Oh, the Robinsons.
Robinsons, thank you. I'm glad that wasn't a question because I would not have remembered that.
No, that was not a question. Believe.
I think I'll go for a walk now.
Yep, fooling anyone.
I feel happy. I feel happy. Oh,
thank you very much. See you on Thursday. All right. Okay. Who is the first knight that we follow? Who's the tale of this knight?
Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, yeah, I don't know if there's another question, but
yeah,
because his quest comes before probably the better known quest. So most people remember Arthur's, but not a lot of people remember Robin's. So
Who accompanies Sir Robin?
His minstrels.
Mm-hmm. Who sing about weird ways that Robin could possibly die. And then on that note, one of many animal gags, what animal is on Sir Robin's shield?
It's chicken.
A chicken, yeah.
Would nearly fought the chicken of Bristol. Would nearly wet himself, the dragon of Agnor.
All right.
I've done it again.
Okay, this might be our lone blink and you miss it.
You manky Scotch git! I saw my armor. I was so scared. Look at the bones. Tim's my favorite character in the movie.
What is the scene number where Arthur receives a vital clue?
Scene 23.
Close.
24.
24.
Son of a gun.
Never go if your gut was 24. Never go against your gut.
I didn't. Well, the 23 is what popped in my head, and and also because 23 is one of those numbers that just gets used ad nauseum. You've got that Jim Carrey thriller movie, the number 23. 23 comes up if the number of the devil 666, and if you add these together, then you get 23, and so that's why I thought.
Yeah, I got you.
So, yeah. 23 is one of those numbers that just comes up in everything. So it's.
Where does Joseph of Arimathea say the Grail can be found?
In the legendary. Does he say legendary Black Castle of? He must have died while carving it.
Kind of. I just have the Castle of Balford.
Okay.
So
okay,
close enough.
Oh, because it's the legendary black beast of.
Yeah.
That's where I got the black from.
All right. Who does Sir Robin encounter in the woods during his little tale?
So everyone about this movie, everyone remembers the Knights of Ni. No one remembers the three-headed knight.
Played by, I think, Michael Palin,
Terry Jones, and Graham Chapman.
Graham Chapman, yep.
You snore.
Well,
You've got bad breath. Oh, it's only because you don't brush my teeth. Oh, chop your own head off. Oh, not biscuits. I know biscuits.
Let's kill him anyway. All right.
He's run off, so he has his scarpet.
Brave Sir Robin ran away.
I didn't.
Bravely ran away.
All lies. When danger reared his ugly head, he bravely turned his tail and fled. Brave Sir Robin turned about, valiantly he chickened out, bravely taking to the...
I never! Where did Sir Robin personally wet himself?
At the Battle of Baden Hill.
Yes!
I almost included that when I was quoting that.
Oh.
And they aptly named Sir not appearing in this film.
Well, that was another question.
Oh, shoot, sorry.
It's just a baby's head in a adult costume.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts is like when the woman's
Or a
hand-
baby in an adult costume.
yeah.
It's not a doll, and they didn't decapitate it real big.
Right. So one of my favorite bits is like when the woman's hand is like turning the pages, and all of a sudden this monkey paw just kind of comes up and grabs her hands. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna answer.
I like that artwork. Today's music is brought to us by Relaxation Harmony. This is Celtic Medieval Tavern Music, non-copyright, Volume 3. I'll put a link in the description once this is done. A really nice painting
Yeah.
of a tavern.
Yeah, it's very
Dragon head on the wall.
very D&D-ish.
Elf girl playing the lute.
Let's see. Okay, so these three are going to kind of be in sequence. What quote unquote language appears in the subtitles at the bottom during the opening credits?
Swedish.
What animal is mentioned in said subtitles?
So I assume that, I don't know if I've ever done this with you, but I assume that you would have gotten the reference. But I very frequently in my normal life will just randomly put also wick. A moose.
I don't think you've ever done that.
A moose once bit my sister.
No, really. She was carving her initials.
Moose bites can be pretty nasty. She was carving her initials on the moose with the sharpened end of an intergalactic toothbrush given her by Sveng, her brother-in-law, an Oslo dentist, and star of such movies as, and I hope that's not a question.
No, it's not.
I was like, I'm not going to remember any of these movies. It was hot fillings of passion, something of an Oslo, the sexy moves of an Oslo dentist, or
we're sorry. Those responsible for these subtitles have been sacked. All right, and then what animal is mentioned during the hastily done opening credits?
llamas.
Llamas. So many llamas.
Really? Oh yeah. When there was that spread of showing 16 Peruvian llamas, 137 Ecuadorian llamas. I'm like, I hope she doesn't ask this, so I'm not going to know any of it.
No. Like I said, so many animal gags.
Also wick.
Also wick. Okay. How can the villagers tell that Arthur is a king?
He hasn't got shit all over him.
Like I said, some vulgar words will be in these answers. Oh, yeah, this is a new one. It's Speedway exclusive.
Interesting.
It's not bad. It's not terribly cool.
Where's Speedway?
And there's actually one down the street.
Okay.
There's a couple down the
I'll have
street.
to go grab one.
Yeah. Not bad. Although what drove me nuts is when I picked it up because, it's INIF or INFINITE and the label said ATE and I'm like, these dang kids and they're
Infinite.
Yes, infinite. All right. Anyhow, so yeah, there goes that question. Why do they not go to Camelot?
It is a silly place. Or it's only a model.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. During that entire song, my favorite bit is the one where it's like with the prisoner down in the dungeon just clapping along. Got to keep himself entertained.
Thank you for not asking any questions about the lyrics, because
Nope.
all these decades of me loving this movie, I do not know that song by heart. There are some words that I have never understood what they are, and even when I rewatched it a few days ago, I was drawing during it, so like I didn't stop my drawing and look at the closed captions of the song. So it's like there are words I've never known. There are words that I've only learned within the last decade.
How old is the old man, and what is his name?
Dennis is 37.
He is, yes. Old woman, man. Sorry, man. 37.
I'm 37.
I'm not old.
I'm not old. See, all you 37-year-olds, you're not old.
No.
My dear, sweet summer children.
What symbol is on Arthur's armor or his tunic? I said armor. I meant
Is it on there?
It is on there.
crap. Is it a cross?
No.
Son of a gun.
That's on Galahad.
Ow, the sun.
With a mustache.
With a mustache. I don't think I noticed that before.
Yeah.
Well, shoot.
There was a couple years ago at one of the.
I know their colors.
Mhm.
So Arthur is yellow,
Mhm.
Bedivere is blue, Galahad is red, Robin is green, and Lancelot is black and white.
Mhm. There was a one.
I love color coding, so
Yeah.
that's the tism.
So the tism, my lord. There was a couple cons ago. I don't remember if it was Fan Expo or whatever the hell they're calling themselves now, or C2E2. But I've seen people dressed as Arthur and Patsy,
Nice.
and they've got they hollowed out a couple of
Nice.
coconuts and are like walking around with coconut shells. And I'm like, that's fucking amazing.
I would be fine with a plastic coconut.
Yeah.
I kind of wouldn't actually want a real
one?
coconut in my possession.
Right.
That's why I don't have house plants. That just the idea of something that could draw bugs just you can see my skin's crawling.
What is the first animal that the French launched with the catapult?
Fetch a vache. What? Fetch a vache. Is it a cow?
It is a cow.
Jesus Christ! Run away! Run away!
Who do we follow after Sir Robin?
Galahad.
And these are going to be the sequential ones. I've got several of these, by the way.
At least our bit had a narrative going. It wasn't just a string of pussy jokes.
Where does Galahad end up, and what led him there?
Castle Anthrax,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a beacon in the shape of a grail.
Yes.
Grail-shaped beacon. Oh, nasty, vile zoot.
All right. So according to Zoot, which
Yes.
is a cosplay goal of mine, how old are all the girls in the castle?
Also, the unsung. Hang on. There's 6 members. Graham, Eric, John, Michael, Terry. So 6 members. The unsung 7th member of Monty Python is Carol.
Cleveland.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Carol Cleveland. So I don't think she's in any other movies to my knowledge, or not knowledge, but recollection, which I have. My knowledge is better than my recollection. So I'm not stupid. I just forget everything. To my recollection, she's only in Holy Grail, but she is unequivocally the 7th Python member in Flying Circus. She's in so many of those skits. She is the 7th Python. And most people don't acknowledge her. Like I said, it's like I like giving acknowledgement to the people that most people don't acknowledge, like Terry Gilliam or Carol Cleveland, which apologies for forgetting your last name if you're still with us. I hope you don't need the amount,
No,
because it's
just their ages.
something score. We are 12 score of young blondes and brunettes in between the ages of, is it 16 and 19?
And a half.
Which half?
19.
19 and a half. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was right with the 16 and 19. Okay.
I'll give it to you because you were close enough.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm not cruel. Okay.
Well, again, these videos are supposed to be fun.
Yes.
Like, it's not me bragging about what I know. If anything, I would rather you guys laugh at the things that I don't know. And it's the whole reason I'm filming this is to entertain you, not to show off what I know. It's for your entertainment. It's for your enjoyment, to give you some trivia. That's why I also like adding in, making of,
just like general trivia of the movie itself.
So it's,
I do that too.
Yeah. So it's, the more I get wrong, the funnier these videos should be for you guys. And, it's I'm on a tangent that I need to leave, but it's it's for your entertainment. I'm not trying to show off.
Yes.
That's why my singing videos are TENIME sings adequately sometimes. So it's like I'm not showing off my singing. Trust me.
What is Zoot's twin sister's name? Did I trip you up?
No, I had a gut reaction, but then I second thought it.
It's always fun when you do that.
Is it Dingo?
It is Dingo.
Okay. I knew Dingo was one of them, but it's like because it's Dr. Piglet and Dr. Crapper.
Yeah, or Dr. Winston.
Dr. Piglet and Dr. Winston. Midget and Crapper are two of the girls.
Yeah. All right.
So, sorry, YouTube, if you're now flagging me for the M word.
Who?
Also, Peter Dinklage, I know you'll never see this, and I really have no place to talk since I do not have dwarfism, but I do not see the tale of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Sorry, Walt Disney. It's not dwarfs. The original 1931 movie, Walt Disney titled it Dwarfs, which is grammatically incorrect. But the title is not Dwarves, so even VES is grammatically correct. It is not correct to the title of the original Disney animated movie. Anyways, I do not think that whole fairy tale from Grimm is Snow White a Grimm's tale? Anyways,
I don't know.
I don't think that is a problematic thing, making fun of little people, of people with dwarfism. They're like Tolkien dwarves. They're the dwarf race that has never and will never exist. They're the medieval fantasy dwarves or dwarfs. Like, yeah, it's like when I heard that Dinklage had a problem with it, and that it's problematic. Why are we still telling this story in 2025? Or it's like, it's not about little people, bro. It's about 7 of Thorin's crew from The Hobbit. But it's like it's Thorin, Dwalin Balin, Keely Feely, Dory, and Nori. So there's the 7 dwarves, So it's like it just like, I don't want to say it rubbed me the wrong way. It was just like, I feel like you're getting offended over something that shouldn't be getting offended over, and not because misportrayal of your people shouldn't be problematic. They're not your people. Like, these are creatures that don't exist. They're not human beings with dwarfism. So
right. That's what we were doing.
All because of the M word.
All right. What is the punishment for lighting the Grail-shaped beacon?
A spanking.
A spanking. Okay.
Just tie her down on a bed and spank her.
All right, and then who saves Galahad?
And then the oral sex. Lancelot.
Lancelot does it. And one of my...
Bet you're gay. No, I'm not.
So one of my favorite bits in this whole movie is when Lancelot is trying to hurry Galahad out of the Castle Anthrax. The girls are chasing after him, and Dingo's like, no, he hasn't a chance. And then I'm going to say a potty mouth word. She goes, oh, shit. It's just the way she says it that it makes me giggle every time.
Oh, no. I moved the rug, and I think I screwed up the camera angle.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, guys. Only slightly. Okay. Sorry.
All right. So Arthur and we've got just a couple of sequentials here. Arthur and his knights build what?
A wooden rabbit.
A wooden rabbit. And why doesn't it work once the French take it inside?
Lancelot, Galahad, and I will wait until nightfall and jump out of the rabbit and take them completely by surprise. And not only by surprise, but completely unarmed. Or not only completely unarmed, but completely by surprise. Who jumps out of the rabbit? Lancelot, Galahad, and I, Bedivere.
Yeah, it's like
Perhaps if we built a wooden badger.
that was my next question. So,
Sorry.
see, this is what happens when you have to quote a movie. All right, let's see what we got next here.
It might be worse next month. Wait till the end of this video to find out what next month's trivia.
All right.
Oh, August is going to be the worst, bro.
Have you told me what August is yet?
I did tell you what August is, but we're not going to tell them. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
You're going to have to wait until the end of July's trivia to find out
Sorry.
what August is.
You can tell me later.
August is going to be special because my birthday is in August. So,
Mhm. All right. Who do Arthur,
not that all of these aren't special, you know.
who do Arthur and Bedivere encounter in the woods?
The knights who say,
No, not the Knights Who Say Nay.
the same.
All right.
Oh, that's of me. You're but poor and simple travelers. I thought you were the king of the Britons, bro.
All right. What kind
Where's that bravado now, huh, Artie?
Right. All right. So, what kind of animal guards the cave of Kerbanog?
Kerbanog. What? Behind the rabbit? It is the rabbit! You tit!
What are Arthur and the
Shut up and go and change your armor.
What are Arthur and the guard at the first castle arguing about?
If a 5-ounce bird could carry a 1-pound coconut.
Yeah. Or weight ratios.
Weight ratio, okay. It's a simple question of weight ratios. A 5-ounce bird cannot carry a 1-pound coconut.
He can
It
grip
could grip it by the
it.
husk. It's not a question of where it grips it.
All right. Supreme executive power is derived by what?
A mandate from the masses, not from some farcical aquatic ceremony.
Yeah.
Look, if I went around saying I was an emperor just because some moistened bint had lobbed a scimitar at me, they'd put me away.
All right, let's see. Oh, what is the sacrifice the Knights Who Say Nay demand?
We demand a shrubbery.
Dramatic sting.
A what? Me.
And who sells Arthur said shrubbery?
Oh no. That is my trade. I am Roger the Shrubber.
Mm-hmm.
I make, arrange, and sell, or make, sell, and arrange.
I don't know.
I make, sell, and arrange shrubberies.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you saying me to that poor old woman? Ah, son of a... I would rather have a musical break than us sitting here waiting and giving free advertisement to people who aren't paying me.
What would Herbert rather do?
Alice, a bit.
I bet.
I'd rather just sing.
No. Not wanna. How many times is Lancelot shown running to the castle?
I knew you were going to ask this, you dick.
And I 100% counted.
12.
No.
Okay.
5.
Okay. I didn't count, obviously.
Clearly. All right. Let's see. And then how many wedding guests?
Hey.
What? Okay.
Right, because Lancelot runs up, stabs one of the guards, and runs in. The other is just like, hey.
How many wedding guests does Lancelot kill?
I don't know. 8.
And he
put his sword through his head.
That's the bride's father, who technically is not killed by Lancelot because the king of Swamp Castle just kind of gives one of his guards a nod, and the guard goes over and stabs him. It's like, oh, he's dead. What do the Knights Who Say Nay now say?
Princess Lucky.
She's got huge.
She's beautiful. She's got huge
Tracks of land. I ain't fat shaming her, but she's beautiful. Holy cow. For the longest time, I thought it was a dude in drag, but sorry, ma'am. See, this is one of those things where I always had in my mind what I thought they were saying, but then looking at the closed captions, it's a little different.
Mhm.
But it's Eki Bakong Zoop Boing.
Yep.
There is a question I'm hoping you'll ask.
All right. This is kind of a finish the quote. There are some who call me
Tim?
all because John Cleese forgot his line.
I did that earlier, so you must not have noticed.
Yeah. All right. What word can the knights who formerly said me, not bear to hear? Like what word drives them nuts?
Not get very far in life not saying is. The word the knights of me cannot bear to hear said is it.
Yes.
I said it. I said it again. Stop saying it.
Let's see here. What has happened to Lancelot after he's crossed the bridge?
He gets arrested.
Who is in the castle that contains the Grail?
The French soldiers.
All right.
No chance, bedwetting types.
All right. Arthur orders.
I fart in your general direction. No, I burst my pimples at you and call your door opening request a silly thing. He does also fart in their general direction.
Yes. Yeah. So Arthur orders an attack on the castle, but it never really gets off the ground. Why?
Because they get arrested.
Yeah. And why are they being arrested?
Because the famous historian and the wife says his name, and I was like, I should remember his name, and I can't remember his name, but the text on screen just says famous historian.
Yes.
Because a knight on a real horse, so it's no one involved in the making of this Grail movie. A knight on a real horse rides by and slits the dude's throat with a sword.
His name is Frank, by the way.
Frank, thank you.
Yes. She's like, Frank! Okay, all right. So,
like I said, the text on screen just says famous historian.
yes. What must Arthur use to cut down the tallest tree?
With a herring!
Yep.
It can't be done. Oh, don't say that word.
All right, so these last questions are all in sequential, and this is my favorite part of the movie.
Okay.
All right. So I love Connie Booth so much. How do you know she's a witch?
She looks like one. She has got a wart.
She has got a wart. They dressed me up like this.
Did you just? Yeah, no, well, a bit.
She has got a wart.
The hat.
Well, we did the nose.
And the nose.
And the hat. But she's a witch. All right. What did she supposedly turn the one villager into?
Oh, she turned me into a newt. A newt? A lot better.
What do you burn apart from witches?
More witches! Wood.
Wood. Oddly. Correct answer on both because I wrote both down. And why do witches burn?
Because they're made of wood.
Good. Okay, so I did not write this question down, but can you name some of the other things that the villagers suggest?
How do we know if she's made of wood? Build a bridge out of her.
But can you also not build a bridge out of stone?
Oh, right. Does wood sink in water?
No.
No, it floats. Throw her into the pond.
Let's see, can you name some of the other things that they suggest?
Bread. Great gravy. Very small rocks. Apples.
Churches.
Churches. Son of a...
Lead.
Lead.
And what animal do they use to test the weight of the witch?
A duck. Exactly.
Exactly.
So, if she weighs the same as a duck, she's made of wood.
And therefore,
A witch! A witch! A witch!
to use my larger skills.
That's a fair cop.
Yeah, and it's so funny because like I said, my dad introduced me to Monty Python at a very young age. I also learned to love.
And that, my liege, is how we know the Earth to be banana shaped.
Yes. So I watched Faulty Towers as a kid
Nice.
too.
Also a great show.
Yeah, also a great show, and it only lasted like a couple of seasons.
I think maybe 2, yeah.
Yeah, and
Which, I mean, that's most British shows.
most British shows, yeah,
And a season is called a series.
A series,
So,
yes.
So,
And my favorite part was always the guy that would come out and like rearrange
it's been too long.
the letters.
I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
all right, so Faulty Towers has like this sign. It says Faulty Towers, but you could always move the letters around, and there was always a guy who would move the letters around. And my favorite one was always flowery twats, because we make anagrams. But it was always flowery twats. Was always my favorite one. So yeah. Well, that's the end of my questions, unless I can happen to think of any more. I don't have my phone over here, so I have no idea what time it is.
It's
Oh yeah.
it's before what? That's the clock is fast.
Yeah.
So hey, I'm good with a 45-minute
we
video.
clocked,
You know,
we clocked in at just about an hour. I mean, it is only one movie, but
Yeah.
the fact I got 67 questions
That's
out of a
pretty good.
90-minute movie,
pretty good. I don't know if we can
Yeah.
visit it again, but
probably not. I mean, we could probably do Life of Brian or
see, I love Life of Brian. She doesn't. I love Meaning of Life. She doesn't.
No.
I love Flying Circus. I assume you do.
I do
Okay.
like Flying Circus.
And now for something completely different is just them refilming popular sketches from Flying Circus, which nothing wrong with that. It's fine. The problem is, except for just the broadest, most societally recognizable skits and quotes, like the Ministry of Silly Walks or the Dead Parrot
Or Spam.
or Spam or No One Expects the Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. And now for something completely different. I own them all on DVD, but I haven't seen them enough to know trivia.
Same.
So
And it's not that I don't like them. It's just they weren't constant rotation in my house.
same, you know, I love them. I like the ones she doesn't like, but I have not seen them enough, like Holy Grail, to be able to quote them again, apart from the obvious quotes, you know. Obviously I did quote all the obvious quotes, but because I was also trying not to
Trying not to quote
crossover questions, but
Yes.
like, you know, Life of Brian, Biggest Dickus, and Romani at the Romans Go Home bit. Always look on the bright side of. I know that song better than Knights of the Round Table.
Which, if you have not seen Spam-A-Lot, I took my dad to go see Spam-A-Lot.
I have not seen Spam-A-Lot.
Oh, it's hysterical.
I have the soundtrack, I think.
Mhm.
I haven't listened to it enough to know the songs, but
It's hysterical.
Tim Curry is King Arthur, which is awesome. So if there's anyone good enough to fill Graham Chapman's shoes, it's Tim frickin' Curry. So
Yeah.
my mom and I, when I went to see her last time, we watched Muppet Treasure Island.
Nice.
So it was only the second time that I've ever seen that. So
Really?
yes, and the first time was probably, if not in theaters, when we got on VHS
Mhm.
way back when. So I'm more of a Christmas Carol guy. So it's, that I can, we can do Muppet Christmas Carol trivia
Mhm.
in December.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. The YouTube algorithm sucks. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, $5 a month gets you unlimited behind-the-scenes access to all artworks, works in progress, including YouTube thumbnails. July's trivia. In July, we wear pink, and we will be trying to make fetch happen. Mean Girls is our trivia for July. So be there.
or get your name written in the burn book. Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Regina George. Thank you guys for watching. Please stay safe out there. TTFN. Ta-ta for now. And now for the run behind the camera to turn it off. Maybe.